Good evening, welcome back, and thank you for being here on this 20th day of December. Very soon we'll be talking about hours before Christmas instead of just mere days. Tonight we'll be talking about a Christmas forecast, unlike one that I've had in a while. Take a little research to find a 61-degree Christmas day. That's what we're looking at right now. Steady increase in temperatures pretty much throughout the week. Digging out of a rather cold hole that we've been in during the overnights, of course. Another night into the teens tonight, upper teens, mind you, from there. We should be into the 30s for the most part. We've got one night in the upper 20s, but definitely much more favorable when you get up in the mornings. The chances of showers for Christmas Day as well, they've slacked off just a bit. So shorts and short sleeves possibly, if that's your choosing, if you'll have any under the tree or not, but definitely a very unseasonably warm Christmas Day lies ahead regardless of how much rain we see, but we'll pinpoint your forecast in more detail in just a few moments. Coverage of the Sagersville City Council meeting from last night. Some council members recognized for their service. The mayor's report also included the city's financial status as they get ready to close out the calendar year of 2016. We'll hear if they're in the red or black. Johnson County Board of Education met last evening, an emergency status there in regards to the heat at the Johnson Central High School. They also had some updates from some school principals and some other matters that we'll cover. I'll be covering some other numbers besides those in your weather forecast, and that's basketball scores. A lot of road games, of course, this time of year, a lot of tournaments and a lot of action. I'll get you caught up on who's where and who's won and lost in the past several days and who's playing tonight and throughout the holiday period or around it. With all of that said, I really can't say, in my opinion, that it's surprising. Given the headlines that I have before me, it seems as though each and every day, and those, of course, on the national level, but drug overdose deaths have gone up dramatically. They've actually increased by 33% over just the past 5 years, mind you. This is across the nation. Some states have seen an increase of 200% or more in overdose deaths. We'll break it down as far as Kentucky is concerned a little bit later, but just giving you some preliminary information and data right now. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says that 30 states across the nation saw increases in overdose deaths resulting from the abuse of heroin and prescription painkillers, a class of drugs known as opioids. New Hampshire saw a 191% increase. North Dakota, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Maine all made a jump by over 100%. Last year, more than 52,000 people died from drug overdoses in the nation, with almost two-thirds involving prescription or illegal opioids. 16 states saw a jump in deaths from synthetic opioids, including the illicit fentanyl, with New York and Connecticut the hardest hit at around 130-35% respectively. Our first coverage right now will be that of the Sagersville City Council meeting last evening before the official business of the meeting, an official recognition of a few council members who will not be returning after the first of the year, one of which had served the city of Sagersville for about 15 years. First last night was special recognition and honors extended towards two departing council members, for which this will be their last meeting.
Before we go on with the regular part of the meeting, we'll have two council persons that won't be with us the next city council term, and we'd like to honor them because they've both been valuable members of the city council. They give good, strong opinions and been for the right thing, I think, for the city. They give their time. City council is not an easy job. It's not something to be taken for granted. It's a very important job for the citizens. So at this time, I'd like to present Mary Ann. Got her plaque here. The plaque, it says, presented to Mary Ann Ward, City Council Member, for her outstanding and dedicated services to the City of Sayersville, January 14th through December 16th, by the Mayor. The next one is presented to Kenneth Poor Boy Williams, a City Council Member, for his outstanding and dedicated service to the City of Sayersville, Kentucky, through January 2001 through December 2016, by the Mayor, for 15 years of good service and great service. Poor boy, we thank you. Thank you. There you go, sir.
Moving on to other business before the council gave the mayor unanimous approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. All gave approval of payment of the bills with the exception of Tommy Bailey, who voted no. Followed by the mayor's report with Shepard indicating that they are ending the year on budget and in the black.
Financial report. Give you, this is a bank statement we got this as of today. That's what we got in the bank. We have $92,737 in the general fund. We got $47.92 in the LGEAF. We got $7,171 in the road fund. $6,694 in our payroll account. $10,597 in our public funds account, and $18,313 in our tourism fund, making a total of $140,307.49 in our bank accounts as of today.
Do you know, Mayor, what percentage of our property taxes is coming in?
Somewhere around 70%.
That's good.
Yeah. Next meeting with the new council, I'll have an exact total, exact percentage on that, what we've taken in so far. Been coming in pretty good.
Before adjourning, the council and mayor gave unanimous approval of the wonderful showing for the Sagersville Hometown Christmas celebration and the parade. He also discussed plans for snow removal and ice removal for the streets of the city of Sagersville after new equipment has been purchased and installed and is just waiting on Mother Nature. The meeting was then adjourned. As coverage of our city council meeting began a few moments ago with special recognition of council members, last night's Johnson County Board of Education meeting began with special recognition of their board members in totality for an award recently bestowed upon them. The second time in several years that they have received this. There was also some presentations by three school principals and discussion of an emergency status. They're going to have to make a significant investment in replacing the more than 30-year-old boiler that heats the Johnson Central High School, and it appears as though they're going to have to do it rather quickly. The first item of business was a special recognition by Superintendent Salyer, recognizing his school board members who recently won the Peak Award at the Kentucky School Board Association, last bestowed upon the school district in 2001 for all they do to support academics. Next, a brief presentation from principals from the middle school, Highland Elementary, and Porter Elementary, each discussing strategies in response to accountability testing scores.
Some highlights from the accountability last year. We did improve achievement in reading. We increased in student growth. And our achievement scores were above state average in all 4 content areas. So we thought those were great things. And we're excited about our 8th graders this year. The 7th grade we thought performed really well. And the overall scores were pretty good, so we expect them to do well this year as well.
Plans to improve said hall include going back to daily team planning, a reading intervention in small group settings for students, and building on resources already successful, including the one-to-one initiative, and also creating a novice reduction team.
The past year, Highland Elementary was a distinguished school, school of distinction, a high progressing school. Some of the things that we've built on from last year to try to maintain and improve upon that. Last year we had a novice reduction teacher leader. We've kind of taken her and now, in addition to the novice reduction, as an instructional leader for the teachers as well. So we've kind of given her an opportunity to help bring more strategy in and that sort of thing. We have common plannings among our grade levels. PLC is scheduled every Wednesday. It's a weekly thing. Within those PLCs, we're doing 2 types of walls now. We're doing a school-wide data wall where we're looking at the grade overall. This percent of 3rd grade students are here, this percent of 4th grade is there for every level. But in addition to that, we've developed a student data wall, which we've modeled it after what turnaround schools across the state are doing.
Dial says that with that, they'll know what is happening in every grade level as well as with each individual student. He says they'll also be able to focus on individual student needs.
Porter last year was School of Distinction and Distinguished School, High Progress School, and a Kentucky Progressing School. So we had all of the top labels that you can get. We were the 44th highest Kentucky elementary school out of 709. Our overall accountability score was 84.3, and the year before it was 67.6, so a really good growth jump there. We met our novice reduction goal. You have to reduce your novice by 50% in 5 years, and we met that goal. Our actual overall novice is under 13% for 3rd through 6th grade at Porter. Just some highlights, 80% of our students read at a proficient or distinguished level at Porter. 72% of 4th grade read at proficient or distinguished levels. 70% of our 5th grade students and 84% of our 6th grade students write at a proficient or distinguished level. So those are just some really good highlights.
Music said now they plan on focusing on data analysis for specific student needs and to use data to monitor students throughout the entire school year, that they plan on focusing more on enrichment, and that they are in year 2 of aligning academics, which will give them a focus on setting school, class, and student goals. From there, the board declared the heating situation at Johnson Central High School an emergency status, followed by a subsequent vote to replace the old coal-fired boiler unit that's heated the school for over 30 years. They'll do so with a much more efficient gas system. And before adjourning, they went into executive session, from which they returned saying that they had hired Carter, Sherman, and Barnhart as architects for the school district. Not much happening on our McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar. I don't say that very often. I mean, literally a handful of days a year, with the holidays now getting ever so close. A lot of holiday-related events are already over and done with, and we're getting on to Christmas itself. With that said, there is one important meeting to pass along to you tonight. Our Substance Abuse Free Environment Coalition, our SAFE Coalition, has their regular monthly meeting, and the McGoffin County Teen Coalition has their quarterly meeting set for tomorrow, both of them 1 o'clock at the McGoffin County Health Department. Rather brief calendar for this Tuesday. However, some other announcements as we have some funeral services to pass along tonight. After I made an error in last night's announcement of the services for Frederick Scott Swagger, we wanted to announce them again tonight. Services in Fred's honor were held actually earlier today. He passed away this week at the age of 47, the son of Shelley Swagger and the late Reva Potter. Besides his father and his stepmother, Lisa Swagger, he's also survived by his wife Tanya and sons Tyler, Isaac, and Scott Swagger. Services once again were held earlier today. And this name takes me back, and I think everyone from my generation on, I can still recall the sounds, the smells, and the feeling of walking into the old Western Auto store down in West Maple Street. For myself, it was bicycle or go-kart parts or something of that nature. As I tonight announced the passing of Buna Ely, 94 of Louisville, formerly of McGoffin County. She and her late husband, Hiram Ely, owned and operated the Western Auto many years ago. She's survived by a son and 2 daughters, Hiram Ely III and Debbie Douglas and Darla Gray. I'm told that private services are going to be held in her honor in Louisville. Well, I'm off in a few moments. Still got some more news to cover, but I'm off to the Harold Whittaker Middle School. It is 8th grade night for Andrew and his fellow 8th grade teammates tonight, where he is going to be honored and recognized as such. So it's off to there, taping the show just a bit early. A lot of news already in the works for tomorrow. But while I'm off to catch a little middle school basketball action, what might be his last home game, possibly the season, and of his middle school academia, we will tonight focus on scores and schedules for high school basketball. 'Tis the season, tournament season, if you're talking basketball. Yeah, a whole lot of games, a whole lot of road games during the holidays, and that's true for everyone, especially our Hornets and Lady Hornets, who we're not going to see back on the home court for weeks, well into next year. So Friday night, the boys were at Batesville. It was a girls and boys doubleheader. We'll get to the ladies in just a second. The boys against the Tigers Friday night came back with a win. That was 68-48. Saturday night, they were taking on Elliott County in the High-Tech Science Graphics Holiday Classic at Prestonsburg. That was a loss, 59-74, as you saw. They are off the weekend and off until, they are on the court and in action back Thursday night of this week on the road at Sheldon Clark. My apologies, guys. The Hornets in action Thursday. As for the Lady Hornets, the last game, that was Saturday night against Pikeville, a loss 39-68, backing up to Friday of last week. That was at Paintsville, as I said, the first half of the doubleheader, 54-84 loss for the Lady Hornets. They are off this weekend. Time and challenger to be announced, it says, for this coming Monday. The Hornets at 2-6 right now. Our boys, as you saw, were 6-3. Right now for the boys, they're third in the 15th region. Now going on to Central, Tommy McKenzie and his Eagles. Friday night it was a loss against Perry County on the road. And then Saturday night it was a win against Greenup County at Raceland in the Derby Classic. And tonight they're still in the Derby Classic at Raceland. They were to tip off against Anderson County at 6:30. The Golden Eagles 7-1 on the season. 2 in 15th region basketball right now. For the Johnson Central Lady Eagles, Thursday night of last week, it was a loss at home to Valley, Shelby Valley, of course. And then last night it was Grayson County in the Queen of the Commonwealth tournament. That was also a loss by 6, 59-65 on your screen. Tonight they are also at Bullitt East, still in the Queen of the Commonwealth, taking on Wagner. That is actually set. Tip-off was set for earlier today, but the scores hadn't been updated, so I can't tell you how that one turned out. I can tell you how the season's turning out thus far. Still about a third of the way in for Lawrence County. They're 8-4, and they're ranked first in 15th region boys basketball. Saturday night over the weekend, it was a loss, though, to Rowan County in the Kentucky Bank Classic by 4. And then last night, taking on Fairview at Raceland once again. And that was a win, 77-55. That was their 8th win of the season. That puts them versus Lewis County. That game is to be tomorrow at the time to be announced. As for the Lady Bulldogs, backing up to this past Friday, a home game hosting South Floyd, a loss by, it looks like, 57-69. Last night they hosted East Ridge, another loss, their third in a row, 46-49 on your screen. The Lady Bulldogs taking on Morgan County tonight. They're hosting them at home. They are dead even for the Lady Bulldogs, 4-4 on the season as of right now. Once again, hosting the Lady Cougars of Morgan County tonight. Going back to Morgan County, and the Cougars lost by 3. That was last Tuesday, was their last game. They hosted Russell, 54-57, the final score. They haven't played since. They are to play tonight in the Alaris Christmas Tournament at Hancock County. They're taking on Livingston Central. That tip-off was actually set for 3 o'clock, but once again, it's not been updated. Can't tell you how that one came out and how they've advanced thus far in that tournament. I can tell you, and I've already kind of told you just a bit, about the Lady Cougars of Morgan County. Their last game was Saturday the 10th, and that was on the road at Elliott County, and that was a win, 59-44, 2 wins in a row, and only their second wins of the season. They are 2-4 right now. They're also at Lawrence County tonight. That tip-off set for 7:30 standard tip-off time. And we'll wrap it up tonight with your recap and with Paintsville and the Tigers. The Tigers at 3-2, and that, of course, is after the loss that we've already mentioned to McGoffin County this past Friday night. But on Saturday night, they were at Prestonsburg in the High-Tech Signs Holiday Classic. That was a win, 59-56 on Saturday night. Last night, though, another road game at Sheldon Clark, a loss on your screen, 68-81. Once again, the Paintsville Tigers at 3-2, and they also are in the Smoky Mountain Classic tomorrow in Gatlinburg, taking on Landrum, South Carolina. For the Lady Tigers, here's a good start for the season. Perfect for the Lady Tigers. Friday night, they had a win against McGoffin County. We've already covered that. Saturday night, they hosted Pike County Central, 70-54 on your screen. Tomorrow night, they are at Gatlinburg, taking on Leslie County in the Smoky Mountain Classic. The Lady Tigers, even though they're undefeated, they're still ranked third right now, early in the season, third of the way through, at 6-0. Yep, that's right. And they are lossless thus far. What a way to start a season. Who's ranked first and second in girls 15th region basketball? Pike County Central at 8-3, and then South Floyd at 7-1. And once again, the Lady Tigers coming in third right now, but without any losses. Not too many losses in the forecast if you'd like a little unseasonably warm air through the holidays. If you're looking for a white Christmas, this is definitely a loser of a forecast for you, because we're not going to have any possibility of that, because temperatures, I mean, we're still looking at 61 on Christmas Day. So, I know I'm kind of spoiling it for some, but some smiles, I'm sure, are right now taking to a few faces. Tonight, a low of 18, mostly clear skies. Look for some patchy fog in the AM after 4, and then lingering into your Wednesday morning up until about 9. But otherwise, sunny tomorrow and warming. It's going to be calm, basically, for days. 48, 33 for your high and low on your Wednesday. As for Thursday, mostly sunny skies. We do see temperatures take just a bit of a hit, back to the low 40s, no real problems there. And nighttime lows also follow suit back to the mid-20s. But we're talking mostly sunny skies. I can't rule out a chance of some flurries, say after 2 a.m., Thursday night, technically Friday morning, up until about 8 o'clock on your Friday morning. But we are only talking about a 20% chance or so. We also, however, have a chance of precipitation Friday night, and then that will see a slight chance throughout the holidays. Here's how the end of your work week and how your Christmas weekend is shaping up. Friday, 47, mostly sunny, a slight chance of some showers, 1 and 3 in the AM, between Friday night and Saturday morning. We're talking about a 30% chance of some rain and some snow showers. Not seeing a big weather maker out of this, but it is in the forecast and is a possibility. It's also possibly carrying over onto your Christmas Eve, where Saturday, right now, a chance of rain and snow before 8, maybe some rain thereafter, 51, and I'm talking about a 30% chance of precipitation pretty much across the board Saturday and Saturday night. The chances, now this is going to be a big weather maker for a lot of folks. Right now, the viewing area specifically, numbers have backed off in the latest local models, if you will, and into your Sunday on Christmas Day. Right now, a 20% chance of showers lingers kind of early, and then it's gone, and then maybe leaving us with mostly cloudy skies and highs near or at or above 61 degrees and a low of 47 Christmas night. Santa might be wearing shorts. Monday, 64 for the Monday after Christmas. Thanks for watching tonight. Hope to see you back here tomorrow night for more of Your News Today.